Hey guys, so today I am making a phone cover for my case. That's just my background for my phone. But anyways, I'm going to be doing this bottom part that I'm showing you guys. This is a Samsung Z Flip, the first generation model one. So yeah, so I cut out this cardstock and I am sketching. I fast forward these clips. I usually don't do any of these voiceovers because I like talking on the spot when I draw because I draw pretty fast, but I decided to do this. It was a long process because I included the sketching. I never really include my sketches in videos. I had someone request me to do that and I might do it. Let me know in the comments down below if you prefer like me doing voiceovers like this or if you prefer me actually talking while drawing. I'm not really used to this, so the whole editing process took me a while. So right now I'm drawing Kirishima. I'm just drawing anime characters that I like. My favorite one is Kirishima from My Hero Academia, so I'm drawing him first. For his hair, it was pretty easy to sketch out. I had a reference next to me. I had my phone on when I was recording, but in general, I kind of memorized how I draw him in my style, so his hair is pretty easy for me to draw. Um, Everything else is like the eyes are in my style, so it's just muscle memory by now. So I gave him the jaw and it was kind of turning out a bit messy, so you'll later see me erase certain parts. The next person I'm drawing next to him is Bakugo, because he's my second favorite character. Um, in the show, he's actually like, with Kirishima, he's actually, I would say, almost I equally like them, but I like Hiroshima more just because his personality is technically nicer. Goodest boy. So yeah. So here I'm drawing Bakugo again with his hair. I kind of just remembered how I roughly do it, so I roughly sketched it. You'll notice I left a lot of the eraser, some of the eraser shavings on, and I completely forgot to wipe them off with my hand. I keep moving my stuff upwards because the stand is on the bottom right, and you'll notice that. And I'm using a small stand instead of my tripod because I was drawing on my bed, but it wasn't good because I just kept trying to move it out of the way. For Bakugo, I tried to make him not look super happy. Before I was like drawing him with a smile, but then I ended up erasing that and going in with like a less like a more neutral face. I wanted him to have like not a super angry face. So this is his smile and then I erase it and then I go for more of a neutral face cuz he's angry all the time anyways. I do like it when he smiles more, but this is just what I ended up doing. Um for him, I gave him a tank top that he wears. He wears like a black tank top in the show. For Kirishima, though, he wears a. I just made him wear the UA school uniform, like the one that they used to go to class, like the collared shirt with the tie. I think that looks pretty cute on him, so I decided to do that. Um, Here I am struggling with the tie for some reason, but I got the general shape. I don't know why I made it thin at first, but yeah. So they're kind of overlapping. I didn't know what pose I was going for, but to be honest, that was the pose that I went for. Um, yeah, so this is Kirishima. I put a sun because he's like super sunshine and happy all the time. Um, for him, it's just coloring in the skin tone. For both of them, you'll notice I use the exact same skin tone because I only have like certain amount of skin tones in my marker case, so I just use basically almost the same because they're similar anyways. Um, I'm shading underneath everything now, including for his lips and under his hair and his chin. Um, I was debating whether or not if I wanted to do all the shadows that I normally do, but I just decided to go for the detailed way that I draw rather than go for some random, like, simplified way, which I was thinking of doing, but I just decided to scratch that idea out. So I am now coloring his hair. I used this is the lightest red that I use for his hair, and then I'll go over it with two different darker reds, so that way there's more shading. Um, for their hair, I try my best to shade. It's pretty small, this paper. You'll see, like, in comparison with my hand. So I'm, like, trying to move it around constantly, and it's kind of annoying because I normally don't draw in this type of scale. It's kind of a challenge for me. I naturally just draw really big, so that's why I can't, like, I normally don't fit the whole characters into, like, printer paper size, so this is really small for me to actually draw, but I got it right somehow. So yeah, so Bakugo kind of looks shorter in this. I guess that was just because I I was trying to draw him, and then sometimes my hand will feel comfortable drawing characters looking to the left side more, and then it's like most days I don't feel comfortable drawing faces looking to the right side, so I force myself to do that. I think it turned out fine. His height kind of, Bakugo's height kind of suffered a bit because of that, but I think overall they look roughly the same height since Bakugo has shorter hair than Kirishima. So yeah, so I colored in Kirishima's outfit and I'm just shading it now. It's mainly white, so I just shaded with some gray, and this is basically it. And then I'm adding the whites for the eyes. I was debating if I should because it's really small. I was afraid the whole marker thing would just gloop because this type of marker, there's a lot of ink that comes out of it, but it didn't. I was able to control the flow. You'll notice I used for Bakugo's hair, which I'm coloring now, the same marker that I used to color their skin. My technique is basically I color, like, I use the marker lightly so that way, and I put less pressure so that way it gives a different color, like a different tone. But yeah, that's my technique for drawing platinum blonde hair for now, because I don't really have any marker for that. But it turns out nice. And then I just use a light gray to kind of go over for the shading of his hair, and that's just the difference. It kind of looks similar in this angle, but when I show the whole thing, I think it doesn't look similar to his skin tone for the comparison of his hair and his skin tone. So I am now shading in his skin. And then for his eyes, they're the same color as Kirishima's. They're just red colors, so I use the exact same reds. You'll notice Bakugo's eyes are a bit smaller because of the angle he's looking at, and it was really awkward for me to color in for that small detail, especially for the whites of the eyes, but I think it was a nice challenge. I'm giving him his black tank top, and yeah. I always add like the whites at the end so that way you can see. And I just dropped my marker, but that's okay. And I hold it up at the end of like when I'm cutting the video so that way you guys can see like the last part. So now I'm outlining. Yeah, I keep moving the paper and it kind of bothers me when I see on a video. Usually if I'm like just filming one video, it's easier, but if I'm doing multiple and editing like that, I'm not used to that yet, so I'll just keep moving the paper around. But yeah, just simple outlining. I basically outlined his shirt because it would blend in with the white background. I originally was gonna give him like a give them some sort of background, but I decided not to because it was cramped in the whole thing, in the whole picture, so I decided not to. And so I had to outline his collared shirt so that way it was separate from that. But for Bakugo, it's more straightforward. There's less outlining when it came to his outfit. There's no outlining at all because it was just black on the white paper. Yeah, and you'll notice I didn't outline the whole thing and around it like I usually do in my style, and I'm just drawing a cute heart that is for both of their colors, orange and red, and it's complete. And so now I just basically wanted to show the phone. So I actually cut out the part where I was taking out the phone case because it was a bit difficult. I was kind of struggling because this is actually a phone case I recently got for my phone. I didn't have one for a couple of months when I bought the phone to begin with, so I had to go on Amazon and buy this OtterBox phone case. It's heavy duty, but it clips on really nicely, so it's hard to take off. But I ended up being able to take it off and then snap it back on here. I'm struggling to have it in the frame just because it's the stand I'm using is a bit too small for you to see the whole phone. So yeah, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.